Welcome back to my channel. To all my subscribers, thank you so much for being a part of the family. To all my newcomers, get comfortable and make yourself at home. Here at Talking with Gabrielle, we don't just watch life, we talk about it. So welcome to the channel of conversation. I am your host, Gabrielle, and you are listening to Talking with Gabrielle. So as some of you may know, and for those of you where this is your first time visiting this channel, this is not a gossip channel. This is not a channel where I share what's going on with the latest people and celebrities. This is an education-based channel where I discuss a variety of topics that impacts the Black community. So let's get into this conversation. A few days ago, I was scrolling on my timeline and I came across some news regarding Chloe Bailey and her dating life. And in the comments, she was receiving a lot of hate. People were constantly just picking her apart from every little thing regarding her mannerism, down to her walk, down to the way that she was sitting, like everything. Her walk, the way she was sitting, I could not believe just how much she was being analyzed and just being picked apart. Now, the reason why I wanted to highlight and focus on her for a bit is because she is a successful African American woman, and this is not my first time seeing this type of response toward her in the media as it specifically pertains to the Black community. And so I really, wanted to dig deep to talk about this topic because this got me to thinking when I was looking at how the Black community was responding to Chloe. This got me to thinking about how women such as Chloe is often received and perceived regarding the Black community in their level, or low level, should I say, of acceptance of Black women such as Chloe Bailey. And that acceptance is the rejection of the good Black girl. And today I want to talk about my take on the rejection of the good Black girl and how we can easily see that being played out with Chloe regarding the social and cultural aspect of the Black community. So based on my observation and experience, it is my belief that the Black community has a strong rejection of the good Black girl. There is not a space for her to exist within the essence of her goodness without the community being extremely critical and disassociating themselves with the possibility that good Black girls can exist and can peacefully exist. This is not a video to give a thorough background of Chloe Bailey's career and life. You can definitely do that on your own. But this is a video to draw the connection of how she is in the social spotlight of the Black community and how the Black community negatively responds to her by using some social examples over the course of her career that I have seen to draw that connection. Now, when Chloe Bailey first came to the scene, of course, she came to the scene with her sister, Haley, and they had such a unique and eclectic sound and look and energy to them. They are, of course, recording artists with beautiful voices. They come from amazing families. And so they just really have just a positive, lovely, pleasant personality about them. It seems like they come from good soil. They were not, like your raunchy, sexually explicit artists. They were very actually ahead of their time. They were very soulful, and they had just a good positive essence and aura about them. Then later on throughout their careers, as they got older, they parted ways and both pursued their own individual passions. And this is where Chloe began to step more into the spotlight as an individual solo artist. And she started to draw her own attention. Of course, we know that Haley was the first Black Little Mermaid. They just did exceptionally well, especially to be young, talented Black women. But yeah, they parted ways from their dual careers and they started to pursue their own individual passions. So now we know as everyone gets older, you start to become more exploratory. You begin finding yourself more. You're embracing who you really are. You're embracing what makes you feel comfortable, even if it's not morally correct, by the opinions of society. You still embrace what makes you feel comfortable within that moment. That is how evolution works, And so this is what we can currently see taking place with Chloe. She's a young Black successful woman that is trying to embrace more of herself. And this is where a lot of the backlash from the Black community started to come from. Chloe can never just simply exist within the essence of her personality being expressing herself, being open, being free without being critically judged and analyzed by the Black community in a way that other raunchy, ratchet Black women will never be assessed and analyzed.
And y'all better keep my sister's name out your mouth. Thank you. Amen. Hallelujah. Anyways, love you. We don't play about Hallie. No. Like, what the heck? Period.
It's about Haley. I can officially say I don't like her. Chloe Bailey is so goddamn lame to me. First of all, girl, you are Miss Preppy Ashley from the suburbs. Then you came out, you was being all promiscuous and shit, and then now you trying to be a gangster. None of it is fucking believable, girl. None of it is believable. And without that makeup, she ain't cute. She should have never showed up on that camera with that fat ass face without no makeup. She ain't cute. You're not believable. You're so goddamn inauthentic. That's why your shit ain't selling. All right, that's number one.
Now, what you just seen was a response from a critically acclaimed Black male commentator that is also a public figure, that is also LGBTQ, clearly, which is also a part of another marginalized group, but I digress anyway. So that was a response from him when Chloe made a video supporting her sister, Haley, who was basically, Chloe was basically telling the media to leave Haley alone. Haley was pregnant at the time and she just did not want to make any announcements, and people kept speculating. So Chloe, being a sister, biological sister, was well within her rights to just say, hey, just leave my sister be, especially during the time that her sister was with child. She didn't want any additional stress. So she was well within her right as a family member to say, leave my sister alone. And that small opinion, that small window of Chloe speaking her mind literally made a member of the Black community go off and read her like that. So that video that Chloe made prompted that response by him. And a lot of the Black community was actually co-signing and agreeing with that person, just to call her lame because she didn't fit into the bubble of what's acceptable of people from their group. And I really feel like that's crazy. But whenever we have Black girls walking around here who's shaking their ass, getting pregnant out of wedlock, we never call any of that lame, ever. What blows me about the Black community is this outright blatant lack of acceptance whenever the Black girl shows an ounce of self-expression. When Chloe was sitting still and singing in the box that the Black community perceived her to be best in, there was minimum backlash. However, as soon as Chloe started to unravel and embrace more of her sex appeal, people, the Black community in particular, went crazy regarding the bullying and the comments of what she was incapable of doing. There is an aspect of evolution that the raunchy, ratchet Black girls can have, and the Black community will support it. They will applaud it. They will promote it. But the moment a good Black girl tries to embrace that same self-discovery, she is met with social rejection of the Black community. The Black community creates a lot of spaces for the ratchet, in-your-face Black girls to openly and freely express themselves, and the Black community will find all type of excuses on why they deserve respect. They will allow these girls space to find themselves and to explore themselves and to talk about how it is okay for them to be themselves. But the moment good Black girls like Chloe Bailey attempt to step into that same energy of self-discovery, they are not received with the same level of acceptance or consideration. Good Black girls are often told that their perceived persona is not believable and that they are socially prohibited from exploring life beyond the borders of what their community deems acceptable for them. I also want to shed light on, I'm about to play another clip where Chloe is talking a little bit more in depth about this experience.
It's a lot to me when I can finally get to a place where I share who I really am. And I've been really insecure for a long time. And I'm finally at that place where I have self-confidence. I'm not gonna cry. And I'm really happy that I get to share that with you all.
Chloe Bailey got emotional on Instagram Sunday, talking about her journey to self-love after haters shamed her recent Instagram post. So Chloe hopped on Instagram Live to address the criticism head on.
For every woman out there, don't change who you are to make society feel comfortable. And I'm telling myself that's not what I'm going to do. And even when I posted the video yesterday, I was posting it because I was saging and doing Palo Santo, and I was like, let's spread positive vibes. I didn't even really notice you all would talk about my ass, because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just walking in for 1 second, 2 seconds, you know? And I feel like I've shown my ass more than I have with that. Like, if you look at our performance videos, the last performance we had in December, like, I was just so excited and on stage and just being myself.
And the Grownish star held back tears as she talked about learning to love herself, something she says hasn't been easy.
I think it's so important and so special when a Black woman can be strong and stand in her power in every single way. You know, I do it musically, with my songwriting, with my producing. I feel so badass. And I get the same feeling when I dance in my room, when I just own who I am and my body. And for so long, I used to think I was like fat, and like I used to hate my stretch marks and my cellulite. I'm not gonna cry. But it's like now I really love who I am.
And at the end of the day, she says she just wants people to know the real Chloe.
If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will.
I just felt it was important to address it so you guys get to kind of get to know who I am more inside. And it's really hard for me to think of myself as a sexual being or an attractive being, quite frankly. So when I see all the uproar about my posts and stuff, I'm a bit confused. Like, I really don't understand, because I've never seen myself in that way.
Okay, so y'all just seen that video. I did try to find parts of the video to cut out, try to trim down, but honestly, that entire video spoke volumes, and it all connected with the conversation. So I really couldn't cut any of it down. And now you see, when she was just embracing herself, having fun, you know, like doing a busted challenge and just embracing her sensuality, the Black community did not accept that. Now, if you had other artists like, you know, City Girls or Sexy Red or whoever else, they would have been cheering them on, applauding them. But here comes Chloe Bailey, you know, this good-hearted, positive energy Black woman who is attempted to embrace her sensuality, and it is literally rejected because she is not authentically out here busting it down. I think if a Black girl is not out here showing every inch of her body, toting around a sexually explicit personality, if she's not out here getting ran through, becoming a single mother, she is considerably lame or rejected by her peers as someone who doesn't quite fit in. I am not saying that every single last Black person in the Black community subscribe to this narrative regarding the good Black girl, because they don't. However, there is an overwhelming majority that does. And this friction often leaves little room at the table for Black girls to socially exist without experiencing the burden of cultural, social rejection and isolation. Lastly, I want to take this time to recognize the good Black girls and let the good Black girls know that you do not finish last, and you do not have to subscribe to that narrative. It is okay to exist within the ramifications of what makes you feel comfortable. It is okay to not fit the narrative or subscription of what society tells you you need to be in order for you to be accepted. It is okay for you to flow in the essence of who you are and be loud and beautiful and proud and bold and open and courageous and confident about that as a good Black girl. As a good Black girl, it is sometimes very hard to find that cultural, social acceptance in a community that is hypersexual and aggressively fixated on many of the negative connotations that makes up a Black woman. But it is okay for you to continue to carry the light and the energy that makes you the good woman that you are. Continue to embrace that. Never change that. Never let that go for any level of social acceptance. And when it is time for you to come into the friendships and the circles that you are supposed to be in, they will fully, openly embrace you. But until then, and even after then and during then, always stay committed to who you are and never ever let anyone change that. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.